sweep the St. Louis Cardinals. Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros now begin September on a pretty good roll and are trying for their second sweep of the Cardinals in a 3-game series this year, JD.
Well, outstanding starting pitching for the Astros for the better part of 3 weeks now, and it has continued in this series with St. Louis, the complete game shutout by Jay Happ, and then 7 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball from Wandy last night. But we turn our attention to a couple of hot hitters in this series. Albert Pujols hitting .379 with 11 home runs, 23 driven in the month of August. The Cardinals have not been winning, but you can't pin it on Fat Albert. He's really been swinging it well. And talking about swinging it well, how about Carlos Lee? His 25 RBI in the month of August, second best in Major League Baseball.
Coming up, the Cardinals have not scored a run in this series, and it's the second time this season they've been shut out in back-to-back games. It had not happened in 14 years under Tony La Russa prior to this season. The Astros try to do it one more time in just a moment. Run alley out along the ConocoPhillips pump, and the Cardinals and Astros do battle again for the final time this season. The Astros are 9-5 against St. Louis, wrapping up the season series, and then both clubs have an off day tomorrow. The Cardinals go back home. They'll play the first place Cincinnati Reds, whom they trail by 7 games now in the standings. And for the Astros, who have won 13 of their last 19, they'll travel on the off day to Arizona and go on to Chicago on a 2-city road trip. This has been the briefest of homestands, but it has seen them get over 500 at home for the first time all season. They're 34-33 here at Minute Maid Park, where they've won 20 of their last 29. They take the field today and face this Cardinals batting order for Tony La Russa. Skip Schumacher at second base, Aaron Miles at shortstop, Albert Pujols at first base, hitting .396 against the Astros this season. Matt Holliday in left field, John Jay in right field, Pedro Feliz at third base, Colby Rasmus in center field, Yadier Molina the catcher, Jeff Suppan the pitcher.
Nelson Figueroa for the Astros this afternoon. He's worked out of the bullpen 8 times. He's made 3 starts. You look at the composite numbers from those 3 starts, and they're awfully good. A 1.50 ERA, but he has yet to pick up a win as a starting pitcher. Good numbers across the board for Figgy last time against the Mets. He got beat 2-1. He worked 7 innings last, just 3 hits, 2 runs. 1 was earned. Defensively, the help comes from Lee Bourne and Pence. And the infield with a little different look. Jeff Keppinger off the DL at second base. Jeff Blum with great numbers against today's starter for the Cardinals, Suppan. He gets a start at short. Wallace and Johnson cover the corners. Castro back behind the plate. There's Kep. His first start in a while.
So that's what September 1st brings. It brings Keppinger off the disabled list. It brings September call-ups. First day in the major leagues for players like Brian Bogusevic. And VR, the pitcher, Henry VR. First day in the big leagues for him. He's a right-hander who will be in the bullpen today. Skip Schumacher leads it off, and there's Bogusevic.
Very exciting day. First day in the big leagues. He's pitching for an opportunity to get in there.
Schumacher at 267 with 4 homers, has driven in 36. Chris Johnson sweeps in at third base. First pitch, strike 1 for Nelson Figueroa. He's been solid in all 3 of his starts with the Astros, but he has not had a win. He is 0-1 in those 3 starts, despite a good ERA. Fastball is outside. It's 1-1 with Laz Diaz umpiring at home plate for the veteran Figueroa.
I think he's not going to blow you away with his velocity. Smart guy, knows how to pitch, has pretty good breaking ball.
Liner fair into the left field corner. Schumacher heads for second base. And the Cardinals have a leadoff double, 14th, number 15 of the year, rather, for Schumacher.
Well, it goes without saying that any manager wants to see his club get off to a good start, but really important for Tony La Russa's club here after being shut out 2 days in a row to try to do some early damage. And a nice swing of the bat here by Schumacher on a changeup that stayed up just a little bit, but still good hitting. If he tries to pull that, the result probably nowhere near as favorable as that leadoff double.
He's in scoring position. Aaron Miles tries to advance him and puts down a bunt. Trickling foul up the first baseline. Strike 1 to Miles.
Running for a hit there. Not a bad idea. Giving yourself up to advance a man to third base in the top of the first inning is a bad idea, but he was thinking about a base hit.
Miles hitting .327, has no homers, 8 runs batted in. .091 is his average against the Astros this season.
Of course, the way the Cardinals have been going, they may feel like we just need to get 1 on the board. Everybody can relax a little bit.
He bunts this one in the air and fouls it.
That's straight sacrifice mode there. I mean, you could tell a club's struggling, and I don't know if he's doing that on his own or if it's coming from the bench, but generally you try to play for a big inning early.
Jose Oquendo, the coach at third, working with Schumacher. Well, the Cardinals got 2 hits, both singles, and were shut out 3-0 by Jay Happ Monday. They lost 3-0 again last night on 3 hits. Broken bat, Figueroa, as Schumacher hung up in a rundown. Gets him back towards second, flips for the tag to Jeff Blum. Well played by Figueroa. It took him 1 throw on a 1-6 play to get Schumacher.
Yeah, just a bad sequence altogether there. First Miles trying to bunt, fouling the ball off. Now Schumacher trying to advance on this comebacker. And this gets a reward for the best executed rundown in the entire time that I've broadcast for the Houston Astros. I've been here since '97, and it seems like every rundown takes way too many throws and the back runner advances. But the man from Brandeis knows how to execute it.
He figured it out. Now he faces Albert Pujols with a double play in order thanks to that effort. Pujols hitless in this series, 0 for 6 with a walk. And there's ball 1.
And we can read too much into it because this may have happened had the Cardinals won 9 games in a row and been scoring 6 runs a game. But you see a play like that, and you think, well, it's just like hitters when they press. They start to chase balls because they're trying to do a little too much, and sometimes you get a little overly aggressive on the bases. But that's a play we see a lot of base runners mess up. that ball that's hit back, and they think it's going to get by the pitcher, so they take off.
Figueroa did make a pretty good play, reaching down to the backhand side. Now Pujols, who has 40 career homers against the Astros and 104 runs batted in. He stormed through the month of August. Great month of August for Pujols. He takes that one for ball 2. He leads the league in total bases and in homers. He's second in runs batted in. And Pujols just a terrific season yet again. Perhaps the 4th MVP season for Albert this year.
Seems like a two-man race between here and Joey Votto. Albert 0 for 6 so far in this series.
His August was the second best month he's ever had in his career, statistically. He's driven in 14 against the Astros this season alone in 14 games. That one's popped up. Jason Castro comes back. This is the mask away, and Pujols is retired. Kind of a hanger for out number 2.
A hanger, but it stayed in a little bit. It didn't float out over the plate. And Albert got tied up by it. I'm trying to throw a breaking ball down and away. And it stays off the plate inside a little bit. Albert's had some pitches to hit in this series, but he hasn't been able to do anything with them.
Matt Holliday follows. And there's another breaking ball inside corner, strike 1 to Holliday, who got his 37th double last night. He has 23 homers, 81 runs batted in, a .301 average. Holliday's double came in the 9th inning, and that was the only extra base hit the Cardinals had in the first 2 games of this series. It's 1-1. They are 7th in runs scored in the National League, but things are not clicking at all. They're 2-7 on this road trip. They lost 2 of 3 in Pittsburgh, lost 3 of 4 in Washington, and have dropped the first couple here. Figueroa misses, and the count goes to 2-1. Nelson is 2-1 lifetime against the Cardinals with a 4.14 ERA. In 12 games, 4 as a starter. This is his 5th start of the season. His ERA is well below 3. Fastball misses outside, and it's 3-1 to Holliday.
Nelson walked 5 Mets last time out, but he was able to pitch around it because he only allowed 3 hits. Got beat 2-1 by Mike Pelfrey. Pitched a dandy for the Metropolitans.
Nelson had 1 bad inning, and the Astros weren't hitting that night as Pelfrey threw the ball well. Fastball foul back, and it's 3-2. And another situation there involving a very hittable pitch. Holliday getting a 3-1 fastball and unable to do anything with it, JD.
Yep. He's pulling off it a little bit. Right-handed hitters get intoxicated by the Crawford boxes in this park. And they try to yank the ball, and if that ball's on the outer third a little bit, a ball they would normally hit quite well, they just pull off, hit off the end of the bat a little bit. You can understand their thinking when it's 436 to straightaway center field.
They're going, and the ball is foul.
So you can, as a pitcher, you can really take advantage of this ballpark. That 4-seamer, ride it to the outside corner away from the right-handed hitter, and just let him get after it. And if he tries to pull it, he's just going to hit a lazy fly ball to center field. And even if he hits it good to center field, there's a pretty good chance Michael Bourne's going to run it down for you.
Miles is going, and once again, it's a foul ball. Holliday waltzed into Houston with that 11-game hitting streak, but that was snapped on Monday. And the Redbirds have been shut out in back-to-back games for the second time in 5 weeks. Next pitch will be the 8th pitch for Figueroa to Holliday with John Jay on deck. And the runner going. There's a drive to left field. That looks like a Holliday 2-run homer. And the Cardinals are on the board for the first time in this 3-game series. Holliday hits his 24th of the season, giving him 83 runs batted in.
And the difference there between that fastball I was talking about is that was a breaking ball that stayed in the strike zone. This one kind of settles right into the middle of the strike zone for Holiday.
Two 2-0 Redbirds. Holiday provides the lead, and it's John Jay looking for more and fouling it for strike one. 330 for John Jay. 4 homers, 25 runs batted in. An excellent rookie season for the outfielder. John, 25 years old, from Miami, Florida. And he takes that one to center field. Michael Bourne waiting. In the first inning for the Redbirds, it's 2 runs on 2 hits with nobody left. Cardinals 2, Astros coming up. The lead for Jeff Suppan facing this Astros batting order. Michael Bourne center field. Jeff Kempinger second base. Returning from the disabled list today. Hunter Pence right field. Carlos Lee left field. Jeff Blum, great career numbers against Suppan, gets the ball at shortstop today. Chris Johnson plays third base. Fred Wallace is at first. Jason Castro is the catcher for Nelson Figueroa.
Jeff Suppan, 1-6, 5.72 ERA this year. His career against the Astros, he's made 17 starts. He's 3-8 with a 5.12 earned run average. 1-3 with a 6.07 in 7 starts here at Minute Maid Park. Suppan on the downside of what has been a very solid major league career. He's had very good command of his pitches, good mix of pitches.
Michael Bourne the first up, and he takes ball one.
But he's lost some zip off that fastball. He's never an overpowering guy to begin with, but he's lost a little bit more off that heater. He's been pretty hittable when healthy this year.
2-0 to Bourne, a .256 hitter with 2 homers, 30 runs batted in. He's on a 10-game hitting streak now, hitting .381 during the 10. Opened the Astros first with an infield hit last night. When the umpire missed the call at first base, he was called safe, but then he later had another hit, reached on an error, and scored a run. The Astros winning at 3-0, got all 3 of their runs in the 4th inning last night off losing pitcher Chris Carpenter. Suppan 136, 141 in his career. And you saw the rather high ERA, 4.71, but he's had some of his best moments in the postseason. He was MVP of the League Championship Series in 2006.
Take a look at Colby Rasmus out there in center field. He is really shallow.
Yes, he is. 3-2. Hunter Pence ripped one over his head for a triple up Tal's Hill last night, driving in a couple. And Michael hits it in the air to shallow left field. Holiday. 1 out for Suppan.
Well, we showed you Rasmus out there in center. His Compatriots in the outfield are Holiday and left, Jay and right. Infield of former Astro Pedro Feliz at third. Aaron Miles gets to start at short today. Skip Schumacher, the second sacker. Albert over there at first. Yadier Molina behind the plate.
Jeff Keppinger's return to the lineup finds him at second base in the number 2 spot, hitting .285. Solid season for Jeff. And this one goes in the air. It'll be Rasmus in center. Moves for it.
If you're not careful in a game against Jeff Suppan, you can have a lot of comfortable offers. He's not the kind of guy where an hour before the game you're going, oh, dude, we got to try to hit this guy's 96-mile-an-hour gas or hellacious breaking ball. He doesn't have any of that. He just has good smarts and can really locate. So you have to be patient not to go after the first halfway decent-looking pitch. And he's not going to strike you out very often. But if you're not patient, he'll have you swinging at his pitch all afternoon long.
Hunter Pence is 4 for 8 in this series with 2 driven in. Foul away, strike one. He had the big hit last night, that 2-run triple up Tal's Hill. Has 20 homers, 26 doubles, and a .285 batting average with 72 driven in for Hunter.
I loved his comment in the paper today. He was just hoping to find a hole, and he was glad he could find a hole. Well, the hole was about 420 feet away from home plate. Blasted it over the center fielder's head.
Yeah.
A lot of holes out there.
It rolled up Tal's Hill on one side of the flagpole, hit the wall, and rolled down the other side. This one's whacked to left field, headed for the wall. Bangs it off that big scoreboard wall. He's going to second. Holiday with a throw. The ball's waiting. And there's the tag on Pence, applied by Schumacher. And it's 7-4 on the play on a single by Pence to win the Astros first. 2-0 Cardinals.
Cancer Center making cancer history. This is kind of fun. September 1, 1964. Colt 45s can't get out of their hotel in Philly because a local radio station falsely reported that the Beatles were staying there. Teenage fans swarmed the exits, seeking a glimpse of the Fab Four. They were stuck with the mediocre 45s, who went on to lose to the Phillies 4-3 on 4 solo home runs. Hey, that's kind of ironic.
Yes, it is.
George, Paul, John, and Ringo all went deep for the Phillies that day.
The 5th Beatle did not put in an appearance.
Phillies went on to have their hearts broken that year.
Pedro Feliz lines one. It's caught by Hunter Pence.
That's the year the Phillies blew a 6.5 game lead with 15 to play.
Well, the Cardinals were right there to capitalize. They went to the World Series.
And it's going to take that kind of a run now for them to chase down the Cincinnati Reds. Obviously no wild card in play back in 1964. No divisional play back then, just the American League and the National League. Great tense drama at the top of the league.
Colby Rasmus late on the fastball, behind 0-1. 263 for Colby with 19 homers, 54 runs batted in. Figueroa got that one by him. Figueroa's ERA in his 4 Astros starts is 1.5. That one's low. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. So it's kind of an audition for next year for Nelson at age 36. See if he fits into the Astros plans, you might say. 1 and 2. No reason to say he wouldn't fit based on what we've been seeing, JD.
No, he's pitched well. Actually threw the ball well with Philadelphia before he's put on waivers. Just got caught up in a numbers game over there.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the Astros have a rested bullpen today and a day off tomorrow. Wandy Rodriguez 7 shutout last night. Jay Happ a complete game 2 hitter Monday night.
Well, the thing about Nelson, he's a guy that he could serve as a swing man for you, be an occasional starter, work out of the bullpen. He's just happy to take the ball. He's not going to cause any problems in the clubhouse. Not going to cost you a lot of money on your payroll. Filling the role now that Brian Mueller held. And Mo's having surgery, is it today?
Yes. Yeah. Check on that. Either today or Friday. Foul back. He's having groin surgery in Philadelphia. So that puts him out for the season. He has said he would like to pitch again next year. So Figueroa takes this opportunity and tries for his first win at Minute Maid Park, where he's 0-1 with a 4.91 ERA. That was fouled by Rasmus. Rasmus might have gotten a day off today. Tony La Russa was considering that. He had missed about 2 weeks with a calf strain, but La Russa said, well, Monday night with the game Happ pitched, a 2-hitter, nobody was running the bases that much, so it wasn't a very active game for Colby. And he thought it would be all right to bring him back and start him again today. And Rasmus takes the 1-out walk.
Well, we spent the better part of the first half of the season talking about how it's a marathon, not a sprint. Well, here we are on September 1st. For these clubs in contention, it is now a sprint. So, every able-bodied man at the ready. Great sense of urgency, especially when you're trying to come from behind as the Cardinals are now.
You bet. Yadier Molina, a 260 hitter with 5 homers, has 48 driven in. He's 1 for 7 in this series.
So this is officially time to panic.
Yeah,
all year long. It's not time to panic now. It's time to panic.
It's okay to panic now.
Okay. And that's why the Cardinals shaved their heads the other day. It's obviously a panic move.
Well, they're 7 games back, 6 in the loss column. They play the Reds this weekend in St. Louis. So, yeah, they need to put their foot on the pedal and depress it all the way. Bouncer to second. Keppinger with a flip. Blown the middleman. 4-6-3 double play. In the second, the Cardinals sent 3 to the plate, and they maintain their 2-0 lead.
Johnson coming up. Greg Lucas here up in the press level because today, is Wednesday, but that also ties into live chat day, too. We are live chatting. To get online with us, just go to foxsportshouston.com, and you'll see directions as to how to do it, how to sign in. We'd like to hear from you. We got some of our regulars, EJ and John and Austin and Scott, and a whole lot more that I can't read because I can't see all your names on the screen right now. But the rest of you, join in and talk Astros baseball with me and with everybody else. Back to you guys upstairs.
Thanks, Greg. There's Carlos Lee looking at ball one from Jeff Suppan. Beginning the day at 248 with 19 homers. He's driven in 77 this year. It's coming in a rush here at the end of the season for Carlos. He's tied for the major league lead in runs batted in with 29 since the 28th of July to get to those numbers for the season. That one goes to center field. Colby Rasmus is waiting. And it's one out for Jeff Suppan. Suppan just returning from the injury to his groin, trying for win number 2 of the season. He began the year with the Milwaukee Brewers, was released, and rejoined the familiar birds on the bat uniform guys. He pitched for the Cardinals in 04 through 06. Won 16 games in 04, 16 more in 05. He was 12-7 in 06, and pitched in the World Series that year. And there is strike one to Jeff Blum, who has excellent career numbers against Suppan. 266 for the season, 1 homer, and he's 15 for 28 against Suppan. That's a foul ball, and Pujols will not get to it. No balls, 2 strikes for Jeff Blum. Getting the ball at shortstop today.
15 for 28. Sometimes you talk about a guy having success against a pitcher, and it's 8 or 9 at bats. So it's hard to trust the numbers sometimes, but when it's 28 at bats, and you got 15 knocks, he owns this guy.
Fouls back the breaking pitch.
This is if you're a pitcher. Sometimes guys have success against you and you're not fully aware of it, but Suppan has to know that Blum's got his number. You're tempted to invent a pitch, throw something you've never thrown before.
1-2. The Cardinals, since they swept the Reds August 9th through the 11th, have gone 5-12. Rolled out to second. Schumacher with a play. 2 outs. Their talented rookie left-hander Jaime Garcia could have pitched today, but was moved back to game 1 of that series with the Reds Friday night. Now it's Chris Johnson, 329, 6 homers, 37 runs batted in for CJ, and he's hit 308 against the Redbirds this year. 2 for 6 in this series with an RBI. Ball 1 to Chris. Since the All-Star break, he's 5th in the National League with a .352 average. That one's right there for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. The Cardinals have the best ERA for starting pitching in the National League, 3.40. Two balls and a strike, but they have not been in sync with scoring runs for their starters recently. Last night, Chris Carpenter gave up 2 earned runs, 3 total in 7 innings, and lost 3-0. That drops in for a strike, and it's 2-2 to Chris Johnson. And a curveball gets Suppan a strikeout, and he's retired 6. He got 1 after a single on a play at second, but he leads it 2-0 after 2.
fans, Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the state of Texas. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. It is 2-0 Redbirds. Jeff Suppan, the pitcher, leads it off in the third inning. Nelson Figueroa tempts him with a fastball, but it's up for ball one.
And one of the better hitting pitchers in the league over the years. Soup.
Got an idea of the strike zone. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Not chasing that fastball from Figueroa so far. Suppan signed a 4-year deal when he left the Cardinals and went to the Brewers. 2 balls and a strike. Last year, Jeff was 7-12 with a 5.29 ERA.
You know, being a good athlete and with his delivery, he could probably become a knuckleballer.
Yeah,
he should take lessons from Steve Sparks. Get hold of Sparky.
Sparky
he could pitch another 8 or 9 years.
Sure. Oh, it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pretty good looking pitch there, as Diaz didn't like it for a strike. Suppan's got a pretty good idea of the strike zone here, JD.
Oh yeah, he's legit. He's a good hitter. A real swing and everything.
And he has drawn a walk, leading off the third inning. We go to Patty Smith.
Well, let's help the Astros salute America's heroes Saturday, September 11th, when they host the Dodgers at 6:05. All uniformed police, fire, EMS, and military personnel will participate in a pregame ceremony, and the first 20,000 fans will receive mini American flags courtesy of Arnie's Party Store. Purchase specially priced tickets at Astros.com/heroes. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Schumacher led off the game with a double to left, then he was thrown out in a rundown play. That's when he bangs into center field. Suppan heads for second base. Michael Bourne picks it up. And the Cardinals have something working with runners at first and second and nobody out. Miles coming up.
Well, big situation here with Pujols waiting on deck. So try to clean up this mess as best you can. And you would love to be able to pitch to Albert with the base empty.
Miles hit the ground ball fielded by Figueroa, and then he got Schumacher in that rundown. You're in a former Astros farmhand. He's 33 now. He was drafted by Houston in '95 in the 19th round. He was with the Cubs last year. Fly ball over shortstop. Carlos Lee comes in shallow left field. That's one out. Now it's Albert.
Albert had a critical at-bat in last night's game. Top half of the third inning, the Cardinals had runners on first and second and 2 outs, and Albert hit the ball pretty well but flew out to center field. And they just didn't have many chances after that one.
He's now 2 for 11 in his career against Figueroa. Suppan, the runner, at second.
Try. Just don't give up on that one. Hopefully you can convince Laz to call that one, because the alternative is to throw that pitch over the plate a little bit more, and against Albert you just really can't afford to do that.
Albert puts it in the air, flips the bat. He has really been frustrated in this series, and there's a shallow fly ball for out number 2.
Okay, one crisis averted. Now Matt Holliday strides to the plate. Not Albert Pujols, but certainly a very dangerous hitter.
And he showed that with a 2-run homer in the first inning. White Sox just got 4 in the top of the 8th. They lead at Cleveland 5-4 after 8 now. Alexi Ramirez hit his 16th homer, not Manny.
Here we go.
Strike to Holiday. Rios hit his 20th, and Konerko number 33 for the Pale Hose today in Cleveland. Pittsburgh and Chicago have played one, no score, with Tom Gorzolani pitching for the Cubs at home. Other action later. Good pickup there by Castro. Short hop play to the backhand side. 1-1. That's good lateral movement. Yeah, Figueroa can get out of this. The Astros have been playing with a lot of confidence lately, and they can go to work in the bottom of the inning, but the Cardinals are able to play out on. That makes it quite a bit more difficult. Now 2-1. Cardinals have been playing teams under 500, losing 12 of the last 17 against those clubs. In 06, they really faltered at the end of the season, and the Astros had a shot at overtaking them, but St. Louis finished it out and then went on to a World Series title, and it was an unusual St. Louis fade at the end. Normally, Tony La Russa's teams, when they get a decent lead, are really very good at closing it out. And this season, a big exception to that so far, but still time.
Careful.
Yeah, fly ball toward the corner and right. Hunter Pence has a long run to get there, and the ball is foul.
Falling behind Holiday. Both at bats. Last time Holiday hit a curveball into the seats for a 2-run home run. 3-1 pitch there, and that's why I came up with the careful. He just didn't want to throw him a cookie there. Down a couple runs already, and he was able to get the pitch out on the outer part of the plate.
Figueroa has not had much run support in his first start as an Astro. He got a no decision here. The Astros won at 4-3. He left with a 3-2 lead after 5. Those are his numbers today, and this is his 4th full count of the day. Runners go, and there's a hit batsman to load the bases for John Jay.
Yeah, I think he was trying to throw that same front door curveball that he got to Albert to pop up on in his first at bat, trying to start that curveball at Holiday and just kind of bring it back over the inside part of the plate or try to tie him up with it. And I like the idea of not giving in there and necessarily throwing him a fastball or a strike, but didn't put a pitch obviously in a place where Holiday would offer at it. Not the end of the world as long as you can get this man.
John Jay has been a tough out, though, with a 379 on base average. Hit a fly ball to center first time up. That's a tough one for Castro.
Yeah, his command gets away from him from time to time. We saw it in that start with the Mets. He just gets a little wobbly with his mechanics. The front side flies open or pulls the ball across. Castro's motioning to him earlier in the Holiday at bat. Keep that front shoulder in there. Drive the ball to home plate.
Figueroa got a win in St. Louis in relief August 2nd, giving up 1 run in 1 inning. And then he went 3 scoreless innings in relief and a loss 2 days later. Now he needs to make a pitch. 1-0 the count on Jay. And Jay puts it out of play. You know, Jay Happ Monday night pitched such a fine game. And reading about that afterwards, the statistics were kind of interesting. One of them anyway. JD gave up 2 hits, walked 1. He had 9 1-0 counts and no 2-0 counts in that game. Jay fires one foul.
Obviously, it's very important to get back into counts, and 2-0 a much more hitter-friendly count than 1-1. And I think. And Jay was able to throw fastballs and breaking pitches behind in the count. So it wasn't like the Cardinals could sit fastball after he fell behind 1-0.
Suppan, Schumacher, and Holiday, the base runners.
One up top with a fastball here.
And a little dribbler. There's the force play at the plate to end the Cardinal 3rd. No runs, a hit. 3 men stranded. It's 2-0 St. Louis. a 3.21 ERA, fourth best in the majors. A low opponent, batting average of 228. Carlos Lidrum at 25. Hunter Pence hit 322. Jay Happ and Bud Norris each won 3 games. A very good month of August for the Astros. As a result, since the 2nd of June, they've gone 44 and 37 over an 81 game span.
So if you bought Astros stock when they bottomed out at 17 and 34, you've made some money.
Jeff Suppan trying to lead his club back to the win column. Has a 2-0 lead. It's Brett Wallace, drafted in the first round by the Cardinals in 08, leading it off. He takes strike one. Wallace had a big game Monday night with 3 hits, his first 3-hit major league game. One of those an RBI double. 210, 6 runs batted in for Brett. He was 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch last night on the outside of the right knee area.
Yeah, he said that's a trend in his career. He gets hit. Well, there it is again.
Yeah. It's a disturbing trend.
Leads the club.
That's number 7 for Brad. He's had 81 at bats. Pretty high.
Yeah, we're going to run down Biggio at this rate.
Yeah.
Might have to stick around for 15 years or so. But he's like a magnet.
Yeah, he is.
You know, and he comes in the league with a reputation of having very good power and the ability to drive the ball the other way. So pitchers are going to try to crowd him. But he's like, enough. I get it.
Jason Castro takes, and there's strike one to him. 200 batting average, 2 homers, 6 runs batted in for Jason. He had a hit and a walk in last night's game, and Monday night hit into tough luck. He lined out to right, and he hit a ball sharply toward right field, fielded by Schumacher, who turned that one into a double play.
This should be a good matchup for Jason Castro.
Why so?
Well, because he's not a power guy, and he sinks the ball. And Jason has shown the ability to go down and get that low fastball. And the power guys have been able to tie him up inside with hard stuff, but that's not Suppan's game. Hey, knock it off out there. Let's go. No fighting. Yeah. He is not giving up. You can tell the look in his eye. No. He's coming back for more.
He'll be back. That's a looper. Shallow left field and caught by Pedro Feliz, the third baseman. 1 out.
We talked about Suppan earlier, how you have to be patient. He'll get you chasing his pitch all day long if you're not patient. That was a little changeup moving down and away. And Castro saw it out of his hand, thought it looked good, and went after it. But by the time he got to home plate, it was dipping out of the zone, out in front on that front foot.
Feliz got back. Miles was there behind him. Now it's Figueroa. Feliz coming in looking for a bunt from the Astros pitcher, who has 1 sacrifice this year. He puts this one down foul. Jeff Suppan's been facing the Astros since '99 when he was with Kansas City.
Yeah. Well, Dave Clark wants to have a talk with Nelson Figueroa and probably give him the option to swing away. If you bunt Brett Wallace to second base here, you've got a man on second and 2 outs. You got Michael Bourne coming up next. Suppan very adept at pitching away. So, they'd be willing to pitch him away, play him away. It might take 2 more hits to score Brett from second, even if you get a sacrifice down here. Base hit, a little line drive to left field from Michael Bourne. It would be difficult for Wallace to score. Not saying the bunt is necessarily the wrong play here. But I like the idea of giving him the option of swinging away.
It's 1-1. Dave Clark has a fresh set of signs from the bench.
Nose chin, nose chin, nose chin cap.
The Astros changed their signs after Roy Oswalt was traded to the Phillies.
A whole lot going on down there with the third base coach, but most of the signs are pretty simple.
Bunted Suppan's way, and he'll toss to Schumacher on the sacrifice, getting Wallace to second, 2 outs.
I don't know the Astros signs, but there's a lot of it that is absolutely meaningless. Try to keep it fairly simple for the players because some guys have a real hard time getting the signs.
Figueroa moved the runner, and now it's Michael Bourne's opportunity for the RBI. Michael hit a fly ball to left, working to count full in the first inning.
And, of course, with the pitcher up there in a situation where he's likely to bunt, a lot of times the signs are absolutely meaningless. He's just been told from the dugout, hey, get a bunt down. Don't worry about what Clarkie does. Everything he does is just a decoy.
Bourne looks at ball one. This is Michael's longest hitting streak of the year. If he gets a hit today, it equals his career high of 11. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The Astros have scored 68 runs against the Cardinals this year in 14 games. They had one big blowout, scoring 18 runs against St. Louis. Cappinger's on deck. Suppan takes a little off.
So he's trying to pitch him away. They play him as an off-field hitter in the outfield. We took that look at Rasmus when Michael was up leading off the bottom of the first, how shallow he plays and towards left center.
Two and two. Suppan lost to Brett Myers in Houston this July 10th, giving up 4 runs in 4 2/3 innings. Jeff Cappinger hit a homer off him, and he gave up 3 in the first on that occasion. Bourne looks at a high one. It's a full count again to Michael. Second full count he's worked in this day. And Suppan, coming off the disabled list, might be kept to a lower pitch count than normal because of that. He's piled up a lot of innings over his career.
Well, he's been a fun guy to watch pitch over the years. Kind of a Greg Maddux light, if you will. Doesn't have the credentials, nor has he had the career that Maddux has had. But the same game plan, you know, not going to blow you away. Smart guy who typically has been able to locate very well and change speeds well. A lot of talking out there.
Yeah. He has 11 straight years with 30 starts or more. Bourne works the walk. That's a good job to lay off some of those pitches.
Yeah, I think Michael just wise to the way they were trying to work him. A lot of change-ups, trying to sink the ball. They took that one shot with a high fastball, and Michael didn't chase. I think Michael pretty well convinced he was going to get a sinker or a change-up. And it was the change-up, and he was able to lay off of it.
That brings up Cappinger. Jeff has had 2 minor league rehab games after the foot injury. Hit the fly ball to center in the first inning. He's been itching to get back. There's ball 1 to him. Suppan is 6th among active pitchers in innings pitched with 2,485. That's a strike call, and it's 1-1 to Jeff Cappinger. The Astros move to Arizona for the weekend.
This is a good battle because, again, Suppan's a guy who doesn't want to give in. He's going to nibble. And Cappinger has as good an idea of the strike zone as any Astro hitter.
Now 2-1.
So Suppan's going to have to make a decision. Am I going to come in and challenge Cappinger, be willing to throw one over the fat part of the plate? And if I don't, and I end up walking him, now I've got to deal with Hunter Pence and the bases loaded.
That's hit to center field.
He took choice A and got away with it.
Rasmus with the catch. No runs, no hits. A couple of men left. After 3, it's 2-0 Cardinals. And you see the Astros gift shop. Cardinals got a 2-run homer from Matt Holliday in the first inning. That's all the scoring so far, 2-0, as inning number 4 begins with Pedro Feliz. He lined out to right earlier. He's 5 for 10 in his career against Figueroa now, taking one right down the chute for strike 1. Astros pitching has been absolutely marvelous since mid-August, best in the majors. Feliz looks at a ball, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He's way up, and he went for it for a strike, and it's 1-2. Astros have a 2.11 ERA since August 13th. And their starters have collaborated for a 2.16 ERA for the last 22 games. Breaking pitch hit on the right side, and Keppinger behind Wallace handles out number 1. We go to Patty Smith.
Well, be sure to join the Astros on Sunday, September 19th for this season's second Faith and Family Night. After the 105 game against the Reds, stick around for the event, including a concert with Mercy Me. Tickets start at only $7. Visit astros.com/mercy for tickets, Bill.
Thanks, Patty. One out here, and it's Colby Rasmus batting. Rasmus drew a walk in the second inning. There is strike 1. Tony La Russa said the coaching staff has tried to change up the routines for the players. A lot of things have gone into trying to snap out of this skid the Redbirds have been on, losing 12 of 16. There's a smash past a diving Keppinger into right center field. Extra bases here for Rasmus, and the throw will not get him. There's a double for the center fielder, his 22nd of the year. He tore his pants on the slide.
Well, it was kind of a bizarre slide. He went in late. He had to grab the bag with his hands before he slid by, as if he was trying to avoid a tag, and there was no play on him. Good swing of the bat, and he runs well. He's got a lot of tools, does Rasmus. He made a late decision to slide.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just wanted to avoid sliding feet first into the bag. I don't want to jam an ankle or something.
Molina, who bounced into a double play, is the batter. You see the torn pants leg. There is strike 1. Jeff Suppan on deck. Molina batting 8th today. He hit 5th last night against the lefty Wandy Rodriguez. And against Jay Happ, he hit 6th. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. 9 total bases today for the Cardinals, more than they had in the first 2 games of the series combined. Fastball is hit, and Hunter Pence goes over, but it's foul, right field side. 1-2.
Yeah, Molina at his best when he's willing to shoot the ball the other way. If he starts trying to pull the ball, he runs into problems.
Well, the Astros get a little bit of a rest tomorrow. This is the 20th consecutive day without a day off. And they've gone 13-6 in the first 19. Cardinals get a day off tomorrow. That's it for them for the rest of the season. Upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They have 2 rainouts to make up.
When you're not a real hard thrower, you got to keep those hitters honest. Don't let them dive out to cover that outside corner. Wouldn't be a bad time to double up and shoot another one in there.
Toward right field, Hunter Pence comes over close to the line. Makes that catch for the second out. Rasmus holding, and now it's Jeff Suppan, the pitcher, coming up. Suppan drew a walk in the third as the leadoff man in that inning. The Cardinals went on to load the bases, but then Jay grounded out. Well, these two teams have played almost dead even since the '94 season when the NL Central began. There's strike one to Suppan. The Cardinals have won 126. The Astros 123 head-to-head since '94.
Eight trips to the postseason for the Cardinals, 6 for the Astros.
Suppan grounds. Chris Johnson to his left. Throws him out. No runs, a hit. A runner stranded. Middle of the fourth inning. Cardinals 2, Astros nothing. Fourth is coming. Pence, Lee, and Blum, the 3, 4, 5 hitters, 2 up against the Cardinals right-hander Jeff Suppan. Might be able to see the bottom of the fourth a little bit better now with those shades lifted. Hunter Pence singled off the left field wall. He was thrown out trying to stretch it to a double.
It's like the players, sometimes those day games after a night game can be a little problematic.
Yes, they can be.
Richie Valens thing going on there.
Break into La Bamba pretty soon. Hunter Pence, with that single first time up, continues to hit the ball with authority. Had a couple singles to right field in the Monday night game. Last night, a triple and a single. He's had a very nice series so far.
Yeah, he's been on a nice run here for quite a while now.
There's one right down the chute, and it's strike one for Jeff Suppan, who pitched very well in the 04 League Championship Series against the Astros. He was matched up twice against Roger Clemens. Started Game 7 in St. Louis. And it's 1-1. He didn't get the decision, but the Cardinals won the game 4-2, and he gave up 1 earned run in 6 innings.
Fix his pants already?
He got some new ones. They put a patch on there.
Man, that's impressive.
It really is. That's quick work.
Yeah.
Before.
No way that's the same pair of pants. I'm not buying it.
No, it's not.
Maybe it is. Who knows?
Doesn't look like it. Fouled away. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hunter. The Astros with that 17 and 12 month of August now have had 3 consecutive months at 500 or better. They haven't had that done since May through July of 03. Suppan's thrown 46 pitches. Bouncing number 47. And it's 3-2. Jeff starting for the Cardinals for the first time since the end of July.
knows he doesn't have the fastball to challenge Hunter Pence very often in the strike zone. So he's trying to get him to chase. That cat and mouse game. Will he chase? Will he expand his zone? Try to paint a corner here.
And he walks him.
You know when Hunter's going good when he takes pitches like that.
Yep.
And he was able to work the walk. When he's struggling, he's a little jumpy, and he'll chase those pitches just off the corner.
He's aboard for Carlos Lee now. He hit a 2-0 pitch to center fielder Colby Rasmus in the second inning. Jeff Blum's on deck. The Astros have 1 hit so far. This fly ball goes to right field. John Jay backing. Hunter goes back to tag. Jay makes a throw. 1 out. Jay has 5 outfield assists.
Yeah, he got one last night.
Yeah,
he threw a man out at second base, and then Skip Schumacher was out there in right field. He threw a man out at second base.
Jeff Blum grounded out in the second inning. We talked about the compelling numbers that get him into this lineup. 15 for 28 lifetime against Suppan coming into this game. This is his 12th start at shortstop. The Astros 8-3 in the first 11 with Blum as the starting shortstop. Strike to Jeff.
Blum has 1 home run this year. Came off the knuckleballer R.A. Dickey. On the last homestand against the Mets, sent the game into extra innings. Suppan has allowed 11 this year in 75 innings of work. So that's a pretty big number.
1-1.
Not predicting anything. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Just begging a little bit.
Well, the batting average against him is .351. Blum hits it in the air, and Pedro Feliz comes in at third base.
Probably not going to get out of here.
2 outs. And Chris Johnson will follow.
Well, you know, his fastball is certainly well short of major league average right now. He's pitching a tough game. I mean, he just doesn't want to give in. He's had a good changeup. A smart pitcher who knows his limitations.
Suppan, a second-round pick by the Red Sox in '93. He was born in Oklahoma City. Went to high school in Encino, California.
He's a restaurateur, I think, now.
Really?
In a restaurant? Yeah, I believe I've read that about him. I like the family. I think his parents or somebody had a restaurant.
Okay.
So he's always been interested in it. I believe he opened one up not too long ago.
Well, he was the opening day starter 3 years in a row for Kansas City. Bouncer, and he failed to field it, but there is Schumacher stepping on the bag and forcing Hunter Pence. It's no runs, no hits, and a man stranded. And through 4, Suppan and the Redbirds lead the Astros 2-0. Houston Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150. By AT&T. By Brake Check. And by Gullo Automotive.
Wow, look at that.
Generous helping.
Ooh. It's got a little butter pecan working.
Might occupy him for a little while.
Wow.
It's a middle innings cone. 2-0 ball game after 4.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that much in the 8th because it'd be dripping all over you on your way to the car.
Strike to Skip Schumacher, who has doubled and singled in this game. 2 for 2. Half of the Cardinals' 4 hits off Nelson Figueroa. It might melt today. No balls, 2 strikes. Still pretty warm around Houston, but there is a cloud cover. And the Astros really haven't got much of a feel for home during this brief homestand of 3 games.
No, just one more city and a 6-city road trip. Just happen to know more people. It's just enough time to clean the clothes, say hi to the family, and get back on the road. As a matter of fact, what I did, I took my suitcase, I put a little soap in it, and threw it in the pool.
Nice.
And then just spun it around a few times, set it outside, and I'm ready to go. I don't have to pack.
That works. Schumacher's caught looking. Strikeout number 1 for Figueroa.
Flip that inside corner. Schumacher fairly well assured that it was off the plate. Oh, yeah, by the way, Jeff Suppan does. It's called Soup's Sports Grill.
Okay.
Out there in the San Fernando Valley where he's from.
Yeah.
And tonight is wing night. It's wing night Wednesday tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. 35-cent wings.
Well, Wednesday, a big night at that establishment, but Wednesday's been a good day for the Astros, too. They're 14-6 on Wednesdays. So it's a clash. It's a battle of Wednesdays.
Get a win on Wednesday, and you need some wings.
I thought you were going to say it was Soup's Kitchen. No balls, 2 strikes.
That sounds too much like a soup kitchen.
It does, doesn't it? There's something about that kitchen term that makes people not want to be part of a restaurant. Foul back. And it's still no balls, 2 strikes for Nelson Figueroa. And he was a waiver claim by the Astros in July. And Matt Downs, another waiver claim from the Giants, will be a September call-up. Oh, it's banged off the foot of Miles, but Matt Downs is not allowed to play in an Astro game until Saturday because there's a rule that for a waiver claim there has to be a 10-day period if he's claimed on waivers and sent to the minor leagues before he can come to the big league club. Miles took that one on the right ankle. So he'll be the final September call-up, maybe not the final, but of those, he's going to be activated last of the original September call-ups. There could be more if there's an injury or something. 1-2 the count. Cardinals have said they would have more call-ups when the AAA Memphis season ends. 75 pitches for Figueroa. They have Matt Pagnozzi and Nick Stavinoa here. Grounded to the right side. Diving play. Wallace from a knee. Flings it by the pitcher Figueroa. And it went out of play in the Astro dugout, so that's an extra base. It's ruled a hit, and then there's going to be an error on the Wallace throw, allowing Miles to get to second.
Yeah, Brett Wallace has, I think, played better than expectations at first base. He's been pretty good over there, and he makes a nice play with the glove, showing pretty good range here. And the throw just gets away from him. Not an easy play to make.
Now we'll have a pinch runner at second. It's going to be Brendan Ryan running for Aaron Miles. Ryan probably will stay and play shortstop. They have tweaked something.
Here's Fat Albert. He has not done anything yet in this series. He got jammed by an inside curveball first time up today. And then in the 3rd inning, took a high fastball, a ball that he would normally smoke, and popped it up. And again, he's had pitches to hit in this series, just has not been able to do much with them. You just kind of cross your fingers and hope it continues till it gets out of town.
Cappinger's close to second base. Strike to Pujols. That's where Jeff is playing up the middle here. Five hits for the Redbirds. Fastball beat him that time, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Astros pitchers have come right at Albert in this series. Can't remember him going hitless in back-to-back games at Minute Maid Park. That's in the air, and the third baseman, Johnson, moves back in for it. And that's 0 for 3 in this game for Pujols. So the possibility could be 3 straight games without a hit for Albert in this ballpark. That is highly unusual. 2 outs now, and it's Holiday batting.
Albert so steady over the years, he's earned the nickname the Machine. Machine, a little ragged right now. Like I said, you know it's going to turn around. And I say right now, I just mean this series in particular, because he's coming off one of the best months of his career.
Way outside, and a stop there by Castro. Well done to keep Ryan at second base. He was diving for that one.
Normally we don't talk about catcher's range. Jason will reach out. He's long. He's got long arms. Taller than most catchers.
Ryan started to move, and then he saw that the ball wasn't very far from Castro. Figueroa went 5 innings in his first Houston start, then 6, then 7. He's thrown 80 pitches. Falls behind Holiday, 2 balls, no strikes. When Matt joined the Cardinals last year, he hit .353 for 235 at bats. Had a .604 slugging percentage when he came from Oakland to St. Louis.
Trying to make a good pitch with a breaking ball. Got a base open, doesn't want to give in to a dangerous hitter here. If he weren't down 2 runs already, he probably would be willing to be more aggressive, but down 2. Astros haven't scored yet. Go ahead and put him on.
Holiday will go down to first alongside Brett Wallace. They were involved in a trade for each other along with some other prospects in July of '09. Wallace going to Oakland in the Holiday deal, and then on to Toronto in the Roy Halladay deal, and then on to Houston in the big trade at the end of July. Now John Jay, he's 0 for 2. Strike to Jay.
June of '08, Brownie.
June of '08. He was actually hitless in back-to-back games here.
Back-to-back games.
Ooh, it has happened. That's amazing. Funny how we have selective retention on things.
Yeah, that would be a hard thing to remember.
It would be. Almost as hard as where your car keys are right now. 2 balls and a strike. Cubs lead the Pirates 3-1 after 3 in Chicago. Neil Walker hit his 9th for Pittsburgh. Jay fouls it back.
Goes to jeopardy of losing 100 ball games this year. 18th consecutive losing season is guaranteed.
They're at 88 right now.
Wow.
See, they have a .333 winning percentage. That is the worst in the majors. Baltimore .371. Up the middle and diving. There's Blum. It gets away from him, and the bases are loaded. Jay gets an infield hit. Loading the bases for Pedro Feliz now.
Jay gets on top of that high pitch. Jeff Blum, his main priority here is to make sure he keeps that ball in the infield and prevent that run from scoring. If he stays upright, he may have a better chance of making a play, but he cannot afford to take the chance of letting that ball get through and allowing a run to score.
Feliz started to go for it. The appeal goes to first base. Wally Bell with a call. It's ball one. Feliz line to right and pop a second. Pedro in the past has had some excellent RBI years. He's just had a tough time this season. Drove in 82 for the Phillies last year. That's right there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good pitch by Figueroa. Feliz had a 98 RBI season in 06 with the Giants. Pedro's been involved in 37 postseason games. This one goes toward Michael Bourne in center. And Figueroa is out of bases loaded trouble for the second time today. Also in the 3rd inning he escaped, and it's still 2-0 St. Louis.
By 2, and in a pregame ceremony today, the Houston Astros, specifically Drayton McClain, Craig Biggio, and Jeff Bagwell, honored Milo Hamilton for 65 years of broadcast excellence. I am up here with Milo Hamilton in the suite as he's hanging with some of his sponsors and close friends, and I know that was just a really special honor for you out there today.
I tell you, they got to me. They didn't tell me anything that was going on. Then when they paraded out Bags and Bidge, and Drayton, of course, always says a lot of the right things. And did you get a chance to see the shadow box?
The shadow box is beautiful. I know you've got pictures of the family in there, some early days. I know 65 years would take you back to, I don't know, maybe 5. No, it was 18 years old. I know in the Navy, some great pictures there. A lot of great memories.
Oh, you bet. And then can't settle down after today because tomorrow is my 83rd birthday. What a 2 days.
You got big plans for the birthday tomorrow?
Yes, there's going to be a party, and some of my closest friends will be there.
All right, we won't give anything away, but looking back 65 years, what stands out for you? I know you get asked that question a lot. But what are really maybe some of the most special memories for you?
Well, to be there here this long, I mean, you know, Henry Aaron's home run, Scotty's no-hitter, Burke's home run, Kent's home run, and then a lot of the basketball that I did and the football as well. And a lot of people don't know that I did football for 25 years. And every football coach that I announced for is in the Football Hall of Fame, like Parsegian and Woody Hayes and those kind of people. And then to work with Guy V. Lewis when I came here on the old HSE. So it's not just been baseball, although that's been the dominant part. But it's been a wonderful ride for 65 years, starting at Thanksgiving week, 1945.
Well, I just happen to know a football coach up at Klein Oak. I might have you call one of his games, maybe get him in the Hall of Fame. But, you know, I don't want to tell on you here, but I saw a tear come to your eye when they also announced the scholarships that will be in your name.
We got to let this run score. It didn't. Hey, maybe we're in business finally today. What do you think?
I'm glad you were here to call it for us.
The scholarship was totally a surprise. And I'm anxious to hear all the details of it. And, boy, when they throw a surprise, and, you know, besides doing the ball games, I'm lucky enough to have some freelance commercial commitments. And they invited all my sponsors today. And it must have been a crowd because it took 2 suites to hold them.
All right. Well, you enjoy the day. Thank you for all of it. Congratulations and a happy birthday tomorrow. And, Brownie, I'm going to toss it back to you and let you catch us up on what just happened.
All right. Thanks, Patty. We had a walk to Wallace and then Castro, a double to left center. Now here's the Major League debut of Brian Bogusevic, pinch hitting for Nelson Figueroa, with a real chance to make an impact in his Major League debut.
Yeah, might as well be a hero your first day in the big leagues.
Takes the first pitch from Jeff Suppan, and it's ball 1. Nelson Figueroa coming out after 5 innings of 6-hit, 2-run baseball.
Bogusevic with solid numbers down at AAA this year. His second year as a full-time position player. Remember, drafted by the Astros in 05. A great two-way player in college at Tulane. Signed as a pitcher. Things didn't work out on the mound. They converted him to the outfield. He's also been playing a little first base.
He bounces one to first. Pujols throws home. Molina with a tag on Wallace, and he gets him. Castro to third. 1 out of the inning, and Bogusevic bounces into that play at the plate.
Albert playing back, but charged that ball, and a good strong throw home. Wallace trying to avoid the tag. And gets him up on the arm.
Now double play situation for Suppan, and it's Michael Bourne batting. He's flied to left and he's walked. Figueroa threw 91 pitches, 58 were strikes.
Have to get at least 1 in this inning. Can't afford to let this second, third, nobody out situation go by without planting at least 1 run.
And strike 1. Gustavo Chacin warming up in the bullpen for Houston.
It's interesting. What Suppan's been able to do is convince the Astros that he's nibbling. But what he's done a lot is pump that first pitch right over the heart of the plate to get ahead, and then he starts picking away at the corners.
Cappinger's on deck. And the throw goes over on Bogusevic, who was a good base stealer at Round Rock this year. Jason Mott's warming up for the Cardinals. Bogusevic had 23 steals in 24 attempts at Round Rock, hitting .277 there with 13 homers, 26 doubles, and 57 runs batted in. Fly ball out to center. Castro tagging. Good catch by Rasmus. And it's 2-1 now on the sacrifice fly by Bourne. His 31st run batted in, plating Castro.
Suppan elevating the fastball. Bourne giving it a good ride. And Rasmussen showed you earlier how shallow he was playing for Michael, but enough air under that one where he was able to retreat and run it down. But a very important run. Could not afford to come up empty here in the 5th.
Bourne drives in his 31st. Now it's Keppinger, who's 0 for 2 with 2 fly balls to center field. Pence on deck. Supan's had 64 pitches. Phillies got a run in the first at Los Angeles for Roy Oswalt against Clayton Kershaw, and a Jimmy Rollins leadoff homer is 7. Keppinger looks at it, and it's ball 1. Now that's quite a story that Bogusevic has reached the big leagues now after completely changing the direction of his career from pitcher to position player. It's 2-0 to Keppinger, and that ball's thrown out of play. Some interesting stories in the month of September. Brian Esposito's another one of them. 11 seasons in the minors. He has caught 1 inning in the majors, but he's never had an at-bat, and he'll be getting one this September. 2 balls and a strike. He was among the September call-ups who arrived today with the Astros. Round Rock team in Omaha now. They will be the last ones to play, we understand, in Rosenblatt Stadium before it's torn down, and a new one will be built to host the College World Series and other games. Bogusevic takes off. Here's the Molina throw, and how about that? Stole a base on the vaunted Yadier Molina, and he stole it pretty easily with a nice jump.
Wow. Steal 1 base, and he's got the sirens going off.
The guy who was drafted as a pitcher can run. 3-1 now, the count. And Keppinger works the walk to bring Hunter Pence to the plate. That's the 4th walk.
Comes Dave Duncan, the veteran pitching coach. I have a chat with Suppan, who, if he can finish off this inning, will have qualified for the win. That is not a high priority for Tony La Russa right now. He doesn't care who gets to win. He just wants to win a ball game. Who's up in the pen out there? Mott. There's a Mott. Not throwing now, so he must be ready. Be interesting to see if Tony La Russa allows Suppan to face Pence here.
Pence has a single and a walk. And recent home runs in meetings with Suppan. So, yeah, that's got to be in the memory of La Russa as Chacin warms up for the Astros. Hunter hit a home run last September in Milwaukee off Suppan. And he'll face him.
2 good at-bats off of him today. Hit a bullet off the wall and left, and then drew a walk in the 4th.
Strike to Hunter.
He fools you with that first pitch right down the channel fastball. Seen him do it a number of times.
Hunter now has 6 hits and 16 career at-bats against Suppan with 2 homers, 3 runs batted in. He's also drawn 5 walks. Carlos Lee is on deck. It's a 1-1 count. Hunter looks like he's seeing the ball really well, as you pointed out during that 4th inning walk. He wasn't chasing on pitches just off the plate.
He talks a lot about if I can quiet myself down, slow down a little bit with the approach, see the ball travel a little longer, and then explode.
High to left field. Holliday watching it, and Holliday watches it go. Hunter Pence with a 3-run homer, and the Astros grab the lead here in the 5th inning. Home run number 21. That's the 3rd of his career against Suppan. He's homered in 3 of the last 4 starts for Suppan against the Astros, and it is now 4-2 Houston.
Well, I guess you would qualify that as seeing it a little longer and then exploding. Wait on the curveball. And a high, towering drive. And not a wall scraper either. Now, I was And I don't know the shape of Tony La Russa's bullpen right now. I was a little bit surprised to see Suppan stay in the game, given the nature of the at-bats Hunter had off him already today.
Carlos Lee takes ball one. Now the Cardinals try to get Suppan through the 5th inning so they can pinch hit for him in the 6th. He's 2 up 3rd. Jeff Blum on deck. Carlos grounds it to Ryan, who throws him out. And the Astros in the 5th inning put up a 4 spot on only 2 hits to grab a 4-2 lead. At the plate, Jeff Suppan bouncing one, comes right up. It's Molina in the mask. Modern day mask. And he stayed down. It's almost as if your head's not there when you're catching.
Yeah, just tuck that chin.
You got protection.
Right, yeah. That's Steve Yeager.
Yeah.
Had invented the flap they used to hang down from the conventional mask.
Yes.
After taking a broken bat in the neck.
The Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by the Frost Brewed Coors Light, and Gustavo Chassin brought to you by Verizon Wireless on our Verizon call to the pen. He comes in now with a 4-2 lead for the Astros, and Nelson Figueroa can get his first win in this ballpark.
Finally some run support for Nelson Figueroa. Now can he get support from the bullpen? They've got some heavy lifting to do. They've got to go 4 innings to preserve this 4-2 lead. Chassin first man out. That's a good start.
Broken bad roller to Keppinger. And he gets Colby Rasmus. Kyle McClellan warming up for the Cardinals in their bullpen. Rasmus retired for the first time. He had walked and doubled. Now it's Yadier Molina batting. Well, Figueroa with 5 innings of 6-hit, 2-run pitching. Walked 3, hit a batter, and fan 1. And got out of 2 bases loaded jams in the 3rd and the 5th innings.
Very resourceful. Teetered, but did not tip over.
Teetered, but did not totter.
Weeble, but did not wobble.
Nick Stavino is on deck. There's strike 1 to Molina. He's bounced into a double play and flying to right. Chassin gets one in for a strike, and it's 0-2. Gustavo last pitched on Sunday in New York, 1/3 of an inning, giving up 1 hit, no runs. Wesley Wright has returned to the Astros bullpen. He was a September call-up. Line to right field. In for a hit. Hunter Pence over to play it. Molina has a 1-out single here in the 6th inning. AT&T has some trivia for us. That was hit number 7 for the Cardinals. Who was the last pitcher to steal home?
Wow. I don't know. What decade was it in?
Last pitcher.
He was in the 60s.
In the 60s. Boy. Base stealing pitchers.
Is there any, let's go to Orson Bean for question number 3 here. Is there any reasonable explanation to this? Could we think this out? Was it a good athlete? So it was a legitimate guy?
It was a Cardinal.
Well, Bob Gibson was a heck of an athlete.
Yeah.
Good hitter. Basketball player at Creighton.
Played
for the Globetrotters. That'd be my logic would take me there.
We'll go with Gibby as the Astros bring in a right-hander, Mark Melanson, and returning in just a moment. Bob Gibson in the 60s. It's Kurt Simmons at 63.
Wow. If you knew that, you are most likely related to Kurt Simmons.
Yeah. Might be. Mark Melanson with a 1-0 record at 2.25 ERA comes in with a runner at first and 1 out. Nick Stavinoa has been announced as the pinch hitter for Jeff Suppan. Suppan in 5 innings allowed the Astros 3 hits, 4 runs. He walked 4, fanned 1. And through 74 pitches, 39 strikes.
Big Nick out of Jersey Village High School. Spent a little time at U of H, and then San Jack. He's played in both the JUCO World Series and the Division I World Series. Did that with LSU.
Ball 1 to Nick. He was just recalled from AAA Memphis today. He's had 2 prior stints with the Redbirds this year.
Cougar Insider tomorrow night at 5:30. Stavinoa went to Houston to play football.
Yeah.
And then when he decided on baseball, that's when he went over to San Jack.
Strike to him, 1-1. He was a long snapper. Spent some downtime in July with a shoulder strain. He has 11 pinch hits. That's in the top 10 in the National League this year. A couple of pinch hit homers. Good pickup there by Castro. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Don't know if these guys would have crossed paths in the minor leagues or not. Woo, he was ready to hit that fastball.
Yeah, he was. Well, they might have squared off in the minor leagues. Astros have seen quite a bit of Stavinoa this season as a pinch hitter, and he has started a couple of games.
Still makes his home here, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, we should get him out to the golf tournament.
Yeah. In fact, the Astros drafted him in 2002 in the 39th round. But then apparently he was probably in college at that point, went back for more schooling, and he was a 7th round pick in 05 by the Cardinals. Fouls that one back, and it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. But now that September has arrived, all these teams have extra pitchers, extra players. It'll be interesting to see the maneuvering, because the managers love to use these extra guys, don't they?
Time of game will increase by about 45 minutes.
You know it. Stavino is down on strikes. Going for the high heater. 2 outs.
Johnson climbing the ladder with that fastball.
Now Skip Schumacher. He has a double and a single in 3 trips. A lot of the Cardinals players shaved their heads the other day in a show of unity. There's ball 1. Now they will go back home, and they have their pitching lined up to face the Cincinnati Reds over the weekend.
Those shaved heads probably work a lot better when Adam Wainwright's on the mound. At home. It's always, hey, see, it worked. Like Adams lost 1 game in St. Louis all year. Smart play, guys. Shaved the head. Should have done it. Should have waited till you got home.
Timing is everything. Grounded to the right side, and Kapicher moves over to his left. The toss to Wallace to end the 6th inning for the Redbirds. No runs, a hit, a man stranded. 4-2 Houston.
Baseball fans, Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the state of Texas. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
Kyle McClellan has come out of the Cardinal bullpen with a 1-3 record and a 2.24 ERA. 51 strikeouts and 14 walks. A very good ratio there, JD.
Yeah, very good numbers for McClellan. Been on the scene in St. Louis 2-3 years now. They're getting just 218 against them. Put the walks down to a reasonable number.
Jeff Blum is 0 for 2, leading it off in the home 6th inning. Cardinals have out-hit the Astros 7-3. Ball 1 to Blummer. McClellan was drafted in the 25th round in 2002 by the Redbirds. He's from the St. Louis suburb of Florissant. It's 1-1. The Astros have seen a lot of him this year. He's made 6 appearances against Houston with an ERA of 0 this season. He's come into a couple of tight games with 1-run leads and held on to those leads this year. And that one's on the corner. 1-2 for Kyle McClellan. He pitched in last night's game. Gave up a hit, no runs, had a couple of strikeouts. Hunter Pence was thrown out trying to stretch a single. Breaking ball, and Blum is able to check his swing on appeal to James Hoy, the third base umpire. It's 2-2. Seems to be a good call. Pujols leads McClellan to the bag, 1 out. The Astros have won 13 and lost 4 at home since the 27th of July. That's the National League's best home record in that period of time. Trying to sweep this 3-game series. They swept the series in St. Louis earlier this year.
Certainly a rough stretch in terms of the schedule that the Astros are on. They played some good clubs too. You know, going to Philadelphia and sweep 4 there. That's impressive. Marlins are no pushover.
Chris Johnson with a fly ball to right. Chases Jay back to the track. 2 outs.
And especially with all the travel. That doesn't affect this club because there's so many young guys just happy to be in the big league. They don't care. They don't care if every game was a road game.
Yeah, right.
Minor league travel, AAA, you're flying commercially, and you're flying in a lot of odd hours, a lot of early morning flights, a lot of bus rides.
Brett Wallace has reached both times in this game. He's had a nice series.
And one of the weird deals about baseball is coming up through the minor leagues, unless you sign for a big bonus, money is always an issue. And you're kind of scraping by. And then you get to the big leagues, you start making good money, and everybody gives you everything for free. Your shoes, your gloves. Sunglasses guy comes along, here, have some of these. Where were you when I was in Double A?
Yeah,
2 nickels to rub together.
3 balls, no strikes. The scoreboard has picked up on what you said earlier. Brett Wallace needs 278 hit by pitch to tie Craig Biggio for the all-time lead. There you go.
Well done.
3 balls and a strike.
Take a big swing. I didn't throw him a strike.
Well, he's been on all 3 times today. He got 3 hits and 3 at-bats Monday night, so it's quite a series for on-base average. Well, that was last night he had 3 hits. No, it was Monday night. Last night he was on once, hit by a pitch, so he's been on base 7 times in this 3-game series.
I was talking with Mike Basso, who scouts for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we're talking about Wallace, and both saying how much we like his swing and his potential, good numbers in the minor leagues. I said, Mike said, the only thing that concerns me is that he didn't walk much in the minor leagues. And Mike said, well, would you rather have him on first or second?
There you go.
Good point.
Strike to Castro. Castro ripped the ball to left center field for a double in the 5th inning. That's what got that 4-run rally started after the walk to Wallace. That he got that big hit. Got Wallace to third base. It's a 1-1 count. Jason earlier popped up to third base. Astros swept a 4-game series at Philadelphia a few days ago. They're going for their 7th series sweep of the year. And not only sweeps against good clubs. 2 balls and a strike. Even though this is their farewell game with the Cardinals, they have 2 series left with Cincinnati. And the Astros are 2-7 against Cincinnati. That's the only losing record against a divisional foe for them. Bounced up the middle and into right center field. Wallace to second. on the sharp single by Castro. So Wallace and Castro here in the 7 and 8 spots really coming through. They have combined to reach base 5 times in this game.
And again, handles the ball down while they're playing him a step to pull, so he had a little room there up the middle and able to exploit it.
Jason Michaels is announced as a pinch hitter now, with Matt Lindstrom warming up in the bullpen. Lindstrom just came off the disabled list today. He had a rehab assignment for Corpus Christi last night, 1 inning without giving up a run. And it was a question mark whether he would be used in this game. Hasn't been used in a big league game since August 16th. But he's warming up, and Michaels is pinch hitting for Melanson. Gustavo Chacin in 1/3 of an inning allowed 1 hit, no runs, no walks or strikeouts. Melanson 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, and 1 strikeout. Michaels .234 pinch hitting this year with 2 bombs and 10 driven in for J. Mike off the bench.
Trevor Miller getting ready in the Cardinal bullpen. I assume for Michael Bourne, who's next.
Michaels has 11 pinch hits to lead the club in 47 at-bats. Both starting pitchers went 5, Suppan and Figueroa. One hopper, Ryan picks it and throws to Schumacher for the force play at second on Castro. No runs, a hit, 2 men stranded after 6, 4-2 Houston. And by 5-Hour Energy. Inside Minute Maid Park with the air conditioning on and everybody entertained by a 4-2 ball game through 6. We have changes for the Astros. Tommy Manzella comes in to play shortstop. Jeff Blum was 0 for 3 at that position. And Manzella takes over now at short with Matt Lindstrom going in to do the pitching for Houston. He's 22 of 28 in saves, and because he's just off the disabled list, will not be put into that closer's role right now, JD.
No, well, that coupled with the fact that Brandon Lyon's done a real nice job, too, that allows Brad Mills to ease Matt Lindstrom back into things here in this less stressful situation. And he will move into the number 5 spot in the lineup, where Jeff Blum was. Put Manzella in the 9-hole on your card.
So Lindstrom had the successful minor league rehab outing last night. 15 pitches were thrown, 11 of them strikes in his scoreless inning for Corpus Christi. That was his first rehab since he went on the DL with a back strain. Brendan Ryan at 219 with 2 homers, has driven in 27. And fouls it back, strike 1. Happy birthday to Margaret Krause. She's watching at home today. Usually she's at the ballpark operating tape machines for us, doing a great job. Her husband, Frank Trevino, of course, operating the camera at mid first base today, as usual. He's holding down at Fort. Margaret enjoys her birthday. Happy birthday, Margaret.
And also Jay Lucas celebrating a birthday tomorrow.
Is he?
Yeah, I got this cupcake. Just went down and raided his booth.
Well, wait a minute. You had a piece of Milo's birthday cake earlier, didn't you?
Well, I shouldn't be eating all this, but I hate to say no. And it's kind of be rude to turn down Jay's cupcake.
Well, that's true. It really, even though you went into his booth and got it, it would be rude.
I got a text. It said, "Come on down and have a cupcake."
Oh, okay. Well, now I didn't get that text.
Well, I probably was supposed to pass that along to you, but you're off the hook.
Brendan Ryan, a .219 hitter. And Lindstrom's been battling these back issues for weeks now, but he comes back and strikes out Ryan. Don't you hate it when those birthdays bunch up on you?
Oh, my goodness.
Eat all that cake.
More than I can handle. Good tight slider here by Matt. That's a tough pitch to handle.
Albert Pujols hitless in this series, 0 for 3 today. 0 for 9 in the series. Comes up with the Cardinals down by 2. And there's ball 1.
It's so important to get Ryan there. Lindstrom has been good against Pujols. Albert 1 out of 7, a couple of punch outs. Off the hard throw and righty.
Holiday's on deck. The Cardinals down by 2 with Pujols and Holiday up in the same inning. That's no day at the beach. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Holiday homered in the first, a 2-run shot for the St. Louis runs. Cubs lead Pittsburgh 3-2. They're in the bottom of the 5th at Chicago. Phillies 2-0 over the Dodgers after 3. Pujols again puts it in the air and to shallow center field. Keppinger is there. 2 outs. We go to Patty Smith.
Well, the Astros take on the Los Angeles Dodgers Saturday, September 11th at 6:05, and the first 10,000 fans will receive a 100-pence bobblehead courtesy of Minute Maid. Saturday night is also Heroes Night, and all uniformed personnel will be honored before the game. Buy your tickets at astros.com/heroes. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Fernando Abad's warming up for Houston. Fernando Salas is warming up for St. Louis. It's a day for Fernando's here at Minute Maid Park.
Can you hear the drums?
I think I can. And it's also a holiday. And it's ball 1 to Matt. Matt with a 2-run homer, then was hit by a pitch, and he walked. There's Abad. Breaking pitch makes it 2 balls, no strikes. It's been Figueroa, Chacin, Melanson, and now Lindstrom. As the Astros have gotten their bullpen back into a very good position, despite the fact this is the 20th consecutive day for the Astros without a day off. The starting pitching has been going so deep into games that's allowed the bullpen to get back into a decent situation.
That's Arnie and Barney there. You know Brad Arnsberg. You've seen plenty of him all year, but Mike Barnett sitting next to him.
Oh, good play by Keppinger on the sharply hit ball by Holiday. And it's a 1-2-3 7th as Lindstrom returns from the DL and Houston leads 4-2. Hunter Pence hit the big 3-run homer in the 5th inning. That brought the Astros from behind. They trailed 2-1. Now they lead at 4-2. The Cardinals have left the bases loaded in the 3rd and the 5th. Albert Pujols is 0 for 4 today, 0 for 10 in the series. Matt Lindstrom just had a 1-2-3 7th inning. Now Fernando Salas comes in the bottom half of the 7th. In 16 games, he has a 1.83 ERA.
He's been the man on the shuttle for the Cardinals this year, up and down numerous times between the big club and their AAA team in Memphis. Pitched well, went up with St. Louis.
First pitch to Michael Bourne is ball 1. Kyle McClellan in 1 inning led 1 hit, no runs. He had 1 walk and no strikeouts. Salas missing there, goes to a count of 2-0. And a foul tip makes it 2 balls and a strike to Michael Bourne. Salas has had 5 outings of 2 innings. Most recent one on Sunday, and also went 2 last Thursday. Came up from Memphis Tuesday. It's 3 balls and a strike. Salas made his debut in the majors at Chicago in late May. Bourne fouls it. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes to Michael. Cubs lead Pittsburgh 3-2 after 5 in Chicago. Tonight it's Boston at Baltimore, Oakland at New York in the American League. Toronto's at Tampa Bay. Foul back. That's been quite a race in the AL East for some time now, but the Yankees finally broke the logjam and moved 1 game in front of Tampa Bay. They've won 4 in a row.
As long as those 2 teams don't collapse, they're both in pretty good shape to make the postseason. Comfortable lead in the wild card for Tampa Bay right now. 7 games better than Boston.
Bourne up the middle, diving play. Schumacher can't prevent a hit from Michael. Goes on through anyway into center field, and Bourne has an 11-game hitting streak, tying his major league high.
Nice stay at the plate. A walk, sac fly last time, and now this base hit. He'd been fouling back the Salas fastball that time, able to get on top of it and beat it on the ground right up the middle. Astros be more than content to play for a run here to pad this lead in the 7th inning.
Jeff Keppinger is 0 for 2 with a walk, and he rode home in the Hunter Pence 3-run homer in the 5th inning. Pence on deck right now as Molina talks with Salas. Bourne now has tied that streak of 11, which he said last year, and it also came late in the season from August 21st through September 1st. We have the same dates exactly for Michael's 2 career 11-game hitting streaks.
Zodiac. How about the alignment?
It's gotta be.
The stars.
That's crazy. Salas missing, ball 1 as the Cardinals set up to turn a double play.
That'd be try to sell that one to Ed Wade. Say, hey Ed, this club had some problems in May last year. You got to find some guys where the stars really line up well for them in May. That's your mission this offseason.
Off the mid of Molina, and that will get Bourne to second base.
Boy, talk about a freebie. You're up there, you're thinking, all right, do we hit and run? Do we bunt? Do we try to steal? Forget about all that. Pass ball, and he's on second base. Usually very reliable back there, Yadier Molina, but clanked that one.
Now with his 2-run lead, that could be a very big base the Astros just got thanks to the pass ball. Taking the double play away, and the count goes to 2-0 on Keppinger. Keppinger up the right field line, broken bat, looping, and John Jay gets there. Tremendous catch. And Bourne will waltz to third after tagging, but that was a heck of a play by John Jay. The right field stands.
A good play all the way around. Good approach by Keppinger, staying back, trying to hit this ball to right field. Good long running catch there by Jay. And Michael Bourne wisely holding there at second, tagging up and advancing.
Back to the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast provided in the 5th inning by Hunter Pence.
He had the big hit in yesterday's ball game. 2-run, a triple to center field. Now the home run today, a 3-run shot. 3 very good at bats so far this afternoon for Pence. Another meeting at the mound for the Cardinals.
Friday at Arizona, it's Brett Myers, and Mr. Hudson has come from the White Sox to go 4-1 for Arizona and look very good in a Diamondback uniform. Daniel Hudson
and Brett Enright, another young pitcher. Both pitched very well for the Diamondbacks. They've played a little bit better since dismissing A.J. Hinch, replacing him with Kirk Gibson. And not significantly better, but those 2 young guys have done well.
Infield in. And the pitch ball 1. Paid attendance 22,068 at Minute Maid Park.
I suspect the strategy would be to pitch around Hunter here. See if he's willing to chase to get himself into a bad count or get himself out. And then if not, put him on and play for a double play with Carlos.
It's looking like that. 2-0. And then Carlos is followed by the pitcher's spot in the lineup right now. Strike makes it 2-1. You know, the Astros home runs, they have not hit many. They're last in the league, but the ones they've hit have been meaningful lately.
And then for the doubt call there for Salas. Fastball off the plate a little bit. Stay out there.
3-1. When Hunter connected for his homer in the 5th inning, that was the first since Carlos Lee hit one last Saturday. That was in a 4-1 win at New York, a 2-run shot. And that's kind of been the hallmark of Astros home runs. About the last 7 have come in games the team won, and pretty important spots. There's that walk, and now runners are at first and third with 1 out for Carlos Lee.
Middle infielders will back up and play for 2. Hey, how about that? Another meeting at the mound. Discuss strategy.
Carlos 0 for 3 today. Phillies have home runs from Shane Victorino, number 16, and Jimmy Rollins, number 7. At Los Angeles, leading the Dodgers 2-0 in the top of the 4th inning against Clayton Kershaw with Roy Oswalt on the mound. Phillies have regrouped since they got swept by the Astros. Anderson Hernandez is on deck, prepared to pinch hit for the pitcher. Fly ball. Not deep at all, but it may drop in between the infielders and outfielders. Brendan Ryan over the shoulder catch. Here's the tag. Michael Bourne scores, and the Astros lead it 5-2. Colby Rasmus didn't get there, and that meant Bourne could tag and score easily on the over the shoulder catch by Ryan.
Yeah, if Colby Rasmus is able to come in and make that catch, Michael Bourne in all likelihood doesn't even try, but Ryan retreating as he catches that ball. You know it's going to take him a little while to turn around and make the throw. And Ryan's looking for help. He's looking for Rasmus to run him off. And that's a situation where the center fielder's just got to sell out. He knows he's got to come and get that ball. Yeah. The Astros had a similar play recently when Michael unable to make the play on a shallow pop-up like that.
Carlos gets a sacrifice fly.
He's had some cheapies lately.
He knows it. RBI number 78 came thanks to Michael Bourne's legs. And who caught the ball? Now Anderson Hernandez is the pinch hitter. Taking strike 1. 212 his average in 33 at bats. No homers, 1 RBI. Now Matt Lindstrom has left the game after 1 inning of hitless, scoreless baseball with 1 strikeout in his return from the disabled list. Things went very well as he got Ryan, Pujols, and Holiday in that 7th inning. Now the Phillies, now with that lead at Los Angeles, are trailing Atlanta by 3 in the East, but in good shape in the wild card race. Throw to first base on Hunter. Phillies lead the Giants by a game and a half in the wild card race. The Cardinals now trail by 4. They are 3rd in the wild card race at the moment. Chris Johnson's on deck. Cardinals have out hit the Astros 7-5 today. No balls, 2 strikes. Middle infield scheme of things, it would appear the Astros are very well stocked with players right now for the final month of the season. And it would seem anyway that guys like Anderson Hernandez probably aren't going to get a lot of playing time. Jeff Kepinger's been out for 2 weeks. He wants to play quite a bit. You've got the 2 shortstops. Manzella has looked good in recent games, and of course Sanchez has played extremely well when Tommy was out.
Hunter with a relatively small lead over there, but Salas not taking anything for granted.
Hunter goes. Here's the throw on one bounce on through into center field, and the steal by Hunter Pence. That's his 17th.
Well, he wasn't taking anything for granted.
Well, he needs 3 more, JD, to be in the 2020 club.
Astros have gotten a couple of bags off Molina this afternoon. That's a tough ball to handle. Generally, catcher likes the ball up, but not that far up. We have to really reach for it. Takes you out of rhythm. So a little bit short and a little bit on the shortstop side.
Hernandez almost clipped by that pitch. 2-2 to Anderson. Oswald has pitched 3 no-hit innings against the Dodgers so far. Dodgers pretty much cashing in their chips with the McCourt divorce case and getting rid of Manny Ramirez. Little bouncer rolls back to the mound. Salas throwing to first. And in the 7th inning, the Astros get a run. On 1 hit, they leave a man, and their lead grows to 5-2. Mr. Sweepy is getting ready. Showing you the National League leaders from the month of August. Ryan Braun hit .424. Albert Pujols hit 11 bombs. Casey McGee drove in 28 runs. Ted Lilly won 5, and Brandon Lyons saved 9. They led the league in their categories in the month of August. Now we have changes for the Astros, who lead at 5-2, moving to the 8th inning. Jason Bourgeois checks into left field, replacing Carlos Lee, who was 0 for 3 with an RBI on that sacrifice fly. Pitcher number 5 of the day is rookie left-hander Fernando Abad.
Fernando has worked just 5 times, but he has been impressive in his 6 1/3 innings. Struck out 5, walked 1. His minor league numbers, so you're a guy with very good command. Dealt with some injuries this year, so didn't pile up a whole lot of appearances or innings. Outstanding command.
There's strike 1.
And has shown no signs of intimidation or fear here in his first go-around at the big league level. Very aggressive.
John Jay got an infield hit in the 5th inning. That loaded the bases. Jay takes a breaking pitch, and it's 0-2. The relief corps has done well today. Chacin, Melanson, Lindstrom, Abad, limiting the Cardinals to no runs so far. After Figueroa, the starter, went 5, giving up 2 runs. And Figueroa gave up 2 runs in the 1st inning on a Holiday homer, so he was able to hang in quite well, escaping bases loaded trouble in the 3rd and 5th.
Yeah, those were innings you kind of watch with one eye closed. It could get ugly here, but Nelson hung in there and worked his way out of those jams. Obviously a big reason why the Astros are in front now.
Abad worked 1 1/3 innings Sunday in New York in the Astros' 5-1 loss. He gave up a hit and no runs. Jay takes a look at it. The count goes to 2-2. Ryan Franklin's warming up for the Redbirds. Their closer, Jeff Fulcino, warming up for Houston. Detroit and Minnesota play tonight in Minnesota. Francisco Liriano going for the Twins against Max Scherzer. That's strike 3. Jay caught looking, 1 out in the 8th.
Talked about his aggressiveness. He busted a good fastball over the inside corner right there. Laz Diaz, they're calling that inside corner pitch this afternoon. Sometimes you don't get it.
Now Pedro Feliz looking at ball 1, 0 for 3 today. San Diego's at Arizona tonight with Matt Latos shooting for win number 14 against Barry Enright, who's 5-2 with a 2.44 ERA. Michael Bourne moves in. Hunter Pence yields to him in right center.
Barry Enright. Yeah, I called him Brett earlier.
That's okay. We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
Still trying to learn some of these guys.
Sorry, Barry.
Colby Rasmus has walked and doubled in 3 trips. Milwaukee's at Cincinnati tonight. Chris Narveson and Johnny Cueto. So Cueto, who fought against the St. Louis Cardinals, will miss pitching against them this weekend. He was kicking in that fight, and he kicked Jason LaRue in the face and put him on the disabled list. Here's strike 1 to Rasmus.
The former teammates, right, in Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that obviously did not go down very well. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count, and Aroldis Chapman made his debut, and what a debut it was last night.
Yeah, 1 scoreless with a strikeout, 102 miles an hour on the gun. So he's lost a little off his fastball from the minor leagues.
1 and 2. He looked like Randy Johnson type stuff last night. That big slider.
Randy Johnson was the big unit. What's this kid? He's going to have a nickname.
Hello. Cigar in it. Rasmus strikes out looking, and that's a 1-2-3-8 for Abad, and a 5-2 lead for the Astros.
10 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins October 6th with the Division Series on TBS. Bill?
Thank you, Patty. We have changes for the Redbirds. It's 5-2. The Astros lead it. Felipe Lopez comes into the game at third base. Pedro Feliz was 0 for 4 at third today, and it's the closer, Ryan Franklin, coming in to get some work. He's 22 of 24 in saves. He has a 3.61 ERA, working for the first time in this series.
Obviously, the Cardinals have not been winning, so he has not had many opportunities to hold leads. Certainly has not had that opportunity in this series.
And they're hoping he has several chances coming up. They play the Cincinnati Reds over the weekend. The Cardinals are really into that need to gain ground now quickly.
Well, yeah, they're in a position where they're going to have to sweep that series.
Fernando Salas in one inning, allowed one hit and one run, had one walk and no strikeouts. Chris Johnson's 0 for 3 today. And Franklin fires the fastball, gets strike one. Franklin picked up his most recent save on Friday at Washington. He has not pitched since. One ball, one strike. He got a blown save on Thursday in Washington, giving up 2 runs in 2 innings. Ryan, 37 years old. He was an all-star last year and has saved 2 games against the Astros this season. Runs that one in on Johnson, who fouls it.
Kind of a Brandon Lyon style closer in that he's not rushing it up there at 97 miles an hour, but knows how to pitch, has a good assortment of pitches. Spent a good chunk of his career as a starting pitcher back in his days with Seattle.
Fouled away by CJ. Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Later tonight, it's Colorado at San Francisco. It's Ubaldo Jimenez and Tim Lincecum. Giants are 4 games behind the first place Padres. The Rockies are 7 games out.
Lincecum has really scuffled lately.
Line to left field. Johnson out of the box on a single to left. That gets him on the board today, 1 for 4.
Good day for the rookies. Franklin beat him with a fastball that first pitch, so right by him. He comes back with a breaking pitch here. CJ whacks it into left for his first hit of the day. Brett Wallace looking for his first hit, but he's been on base 3 times. Hit by a pitch, walking twice.
They've been crowding him today. Turns on that one, and it's hit to Pujols. Here's the play to second for the tag on Johnson. And it's a 3-6 double play. Wallace was ready, hit it sharply, but Pujols started that double play.
Pujols not coming off the backs, holding his ground. The ball hit right to him. Steps on the base. Tag play then has to be executed.
Jason Castro has a double and a single. He has scored a run today. Strike to Castro. That's 7 hits for the Cardinals, 6 for the Astros now. White Sox won 6-4 at Cleveland with 4 in the 8th inning, giving Tony Pena the win. Rolled up the line at first, and it goes foul. Pujols was able to glove it. He's pointing back at the first base umpire, Wally Bell, but Wally got it right. 0-2.
Yeah, tough call, though. That was close.
It was close. No balls, 2 strikes to Castro. Broken bat up the middle. Schumacher with a quick throw over to first. Got him. Close call there for Wally Bell, and it's no runs, a hit. So 2 close balls there for Castro, but he's out, and it's 5-2 Houston. Ford dealers. Check out the 2010 F-150. Ford is the best in Texas. Mr. Sweepy getting home plate clean for the 9th inning. The Astros trying for their 7th series sweep. And the fans have it nailed right there. It's a 7-game lead in the NL Central for Cincinnati. The Astros trying to sweep, as they did on the road at Philadelphia in a 4-game set. They swept the Cardinals in St. Louis in a 3-game set earlier this year. Now it's Brandon Lyon trying to nail down sweep number 7 of the year.
Well, the mission here is just be aggressive. Go right after Molina here leading off the top half of the 9th inning. He's got 10 saves and 11 tries, a 3.23 ERA for Brandon, 64 appearances, 64 innings. He gets them one at a time for the most part.
Lyon got save number 10 last night. Gave up a hit and a walk, struck out 2 in the 3-0 win. Molina gets one on the ground, and Kepinger's there.
Leading lady on 1 pitch. Things are looking pretty rosy for Brandon Lyon.
And for Nelson Figueroa for win number 4.
Even though he has really struggled hitless in this series, you're always worried about the presence of Albert Pujols striding to home plate in a situation like this with a chance to tie the ball game or put the Cardinals on top. Take care of business, you won't have to deal with that.
Felipe Lopez, that's the order of business right now. Strike 1 to him. Lopez entered the game in a double switch, batting for the first time. Hitting .239, 7 homers, 36 runs batted in. Lyon shoots it right through the heart of the plate. 0-2 to Lopez, who is 4 for 6 in his career against Lyon. And that's in tight to Lopez for a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Felipe, who spent some time on the DL with an elbow strain earlier this season. He pitched in a 20-inning game way back early in the season.
Brandon Lyon has worked 64 innings, as we showed you on that graphic, and allowed just 1 home run. And it's nice to have that in your late inning relief, guys that keep the ball in the ballpark. Lopez on both similar numbers.
He's converted 10 straight save opportunities now and has not given up a run in 20 of his last 21 appearances. Leads the club. This is his 65th appearance of the year. Figueroa, Chacin, Melanson, Lindstrom, Abad, and Lyon is pitcher number 6 for Houston. Foul back. Those September box scores can get pretty long in the paper.
Oh, yeah.
Cardinals got 2 in the first on a Holiday homer. The Astros got 4 in the 5th, 3 on a Hunter Pence long ball.
Rally cap?
Like it. Struck him out. 2 outs now. Cardinals haven't had a hit since the 6th.
Cutter boring down and in on Lopez. A futile swing.
10 straight Redbirds set down by the Astros relief corps in this game. Skip Schumacher had a double in the first, a single in the third. He's 2 for 4. Astros fans are really pumped at the prospect of this 3-game sweep. Here's ball 1. Astros are 25-18 since the All-Star break. It's 2-0. They finally get a day off after 20 consecutive days tomorrow, but they'll be traveling to Phoenix.
Not one the way they're playing.
Right. Friday night it's Brett Myers and Daniel Hudson. Saturday night Bud Norris and Joe Saunders. Sunday afternoon Jay Happ and Rodrigo Lopez. Right. 2-1.
Pretty modest crowd here today, but they've been entertained. There's the broom.
He looks poised to head for the exits. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It would be 14 wins in the last 20 games if the Astros nail it down. Cardinals have scored 2 runs in this 3-game series. 1 hopper picked by Keppinger. Nice play to the backhand side to end an Astros sweep. They now go to 62-71. They've won 21 of their last 30 home games. Brandon Lyon getting save number 11. Nelson Figueroa the winner, 4-2. It's the 7th series sweep for the Astros this season. Final score, Houston 5, St. Louis 2.
Clean up aisle 7. Clean up aisle 7.